Listen closely, my dear friend, for I am about to tell you a cruel truth. Do you believe yourself to be a good person? You may think, I have never hurt anyone, I have never committed a crime, and I have lived an earnest life. Yet, I must raise my voice to warn you, even you may fall into the depths of hell. You must be surprised to hear this. You may find it hard to believe. But I have mastered the secrets of the spirit world high in the mountains and have witnessed the naked souls of men. There, I saw a terrifying reality. I saw souls who were supposed to be good people, writhing in agony in the dark. Why does this happen? Why do good people fall? It is because they have committed invisible sins. Without you realizing it, your virtue is being drained away. Unknowingly, your sins are piling up like dust. And when you return to the spirit world, you must pay the price for that ignorance. But do not fear. Today, I will grant you 7 teachings to escape this fate. These teachings will cleanse your invisible sins and lead you to a higher, radiant place. Are you ready to face your soul? Then, let us begin. Chapter 1: The Screams from the Abyss. My dear friend, have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil of death? I am not speaking of fairy tales or the convenient stories people tell to comfort themselves. I am speaking of the raw, unfiltered reality of the spirit world. I have traveled there. I have climbed the highest spiritual peaks where the air is thin and pure. And I have descended into the heavy, suffocating depths where the light does not reach. Today, I must share with you a sight that still haunts me to this day. It is a scene that shatters the very foundation of what we, in the modern world, consider to be justice. Imagine, if you will, a place where the sun never rises. It is not pitch black, but rather a dull, oppressive gray, like a heavy fog that clings to your skin. The air is cold. Not the crisp cold of winter, but a damp, seeping cold that chills you to the bone. In this place, I saw them, countless souls, crouching in the shadows, wandering aimlessly, their heads hung low in despair. But here is the most terrifying part. These were not murderers. They were not thieves. They were not tyrants who had bathed in the blood of others. To the naked eye, they looked exactly like you, or your neighbors, or the colleagues you pass in the office hallway every day. I approached one of these souls. He was a man who looked to be in his 50s, wearing the faint, ghostly image of a business suit, a symbol of the life he once led. He was sitting on a cold stone, his face buried in his hands, weeping silently. His sobbing echoed in the empty gloom, a sound of utter confusion and heartbreak. I placed a hand on his shoulder and asked him gently, "My friend, why do you suffer so? What sin have you committed to end up in such a place?" The man looked up at me. His eyes were hollow, filled with a mixture of fear and indignation. He grabbed my arm, desperate for someone to hear his plea. "I don't know," he cried out. "I truly do not know. I did nothing wrong." His voice trembled with the frustration of a man who believes he has been wrongly convicted. "I lived a serious life," he continued. "I worked hard every single day for 40 years. I never broke the law. I paid my taxes. I never hit my wife. I raised my children. I was a good person. So why am I here in this cold darkness? Why did no angels come for me? Why am I not in heaven?" My dear friend, listening to you now, do you feel a chill running down your spine? Do you see yourself in this man? I haven't done anything wrong. I am a normal, decent person. If you think this way, please, listen carefully. Because what I saw in that man's soul was the cruelest truth of the spiritual realm. I looked deeply into his spirit. In the spirit world, nothing can be hidden. The heart is transparent, like a glass vessel. And when I looked at his vessel, I saw nothing. There was no black ink of murder. There was no red stain of violence. But there was also no light. His soul was empty. It was dim, dusty, and cold. It was like a room that had been shut tight for decades, where the air had grown stale and the windows were covered in thick grime. This man spoke the truth. He had committed no crimes under the laws of man, but under the laws of the universe. He was guilty of a grave, invisible sin. He believed that simply not doing bad was enough. He believed that living a neutral life, avoiding trouble, and minding his own business made him a good person. But he was wrong. In the eyes of the Spirit, a soul that does not shine is a soul that sinks. Gravity in the spirit world is determined by the weight of your heart. And his heart was heavy, not with evil deeds, but with the accumulated dust of ingratitude, indifference, and self-preservation. You see, he lived 40 years without harming anyone, but also without truly loving anyone. He worked hard, but he did so with a heart full of complaints about his boss and his pay. He raised his family, but he treated their presence as a burden or a given right, never once shedding a tear of gratitude for the miracle of their existence. He was a good person on paper, but spiritually, he was asleep, and a sleeping soul cannot ascend to the heights of the spirit world. It simply falls, like a stone dropped in a pond, settling at the bottom where the light cannot reach. This is the nature of the suffering I witnessed. It is the suffering of confusion. It is the agony of the unaware. The man in the gray suit is likely still there, crouching on that rock, asking, why, over and over again. This is what the ancients called a hell of one's own making. It is not a devil with a pitchfork that punishes you. It is your own lack of spiritual buoyancy that traps you. Now, I ask you to look into the mirror of your own heart. Are you content with simply not being bad? Do you believe that is enough to save you? Do not worry, my friend. I do not say this to frighten you into despair. I tell you this because unlike that man in the gray suit, you still have a body. You still have time. You have the power, right now, to ignite the light that was missing from his soul. You are alive, and that means you can change the destination of your soul before it is too late. The terrifying truth is that good people fall, but the hopeful truth is that you do not have to be one of them. You can be more than just good. You can be radiant. But to do that, we must understand what exactly drags a soul down. We must identify the dust that covers your light. In the next chapter, let us look even closer at this illusion of the good person and uncover the true definition of hell. Are you brave enough to continue this journey with me? Chapter 2: The Illusion of the Good Person. My dear friend, let us go deeper into this mystery. In the previous chapter, we left a man crouching in the gray mists of the spirit world, confused by his fate. He cried out, I am a good person. And indeed, by the standards of your world, by the laws of society, the rules of the company, and the expectations of the neighborhood, he was flawless. But here lies the most dangerous trap of all. We must shatter the illusion of what it means to be a good person. Tell me, what is your definition of hell? When you hear that word, do you imagine a sea of fire? Do you picture demons with iron clubs chasing sinners across a mountain of needles? That is the hell of children's stories. The reality of the spiritual hell is far more subtle, and therefore, far more terrifying. Hell is not necessarily a place of torture inflicted by others. Hell is a state of stagnation. It is a state where the soul is frozen, unable to move, unable to grow, and unable to feel the warmth of connection. Let us look at the world we live in today. We are taught from a young age, don't cause trouble, don't stand out, follow the rules. We are told that if we simply avoid doing bad things, we are doing good. But is that true? Imagine a car that sits in a garage for 20 years. It never speeds, it never runs a red light, and it never hits a pedestrian. Is it a good car? No, it is a useless pile of metal. It is rusting. It is dead. A car is meant to drive, to transport, to move. In the same way, a soul is meant to love, to express, to shine, and to act. The good person who falls into the gray mist is often just a harmless person. They have not committed evil, but they have not committed to life either. They live in a state of spiritual neutrality. I mind my own business. I don't get involved. This attitude, while safe in human society, is fatal in the spirit world. Why? Because the spirit world is powered by vibration, by the energy of emotion and will. Love is a high vibration. Gratitude is a high vibration. Even profound repentance is a powerful energy that can lift a soul. But indifference, boredom, safety, these have no lift. They are heavy lead weights. I have seen many souls who were trapped not by what they did, but by what they were not. They were not kind. They were not cruel. They were simply cold. They lived their lives on autopilot, sleepwalking from the cradle to the grave. They treated their neighbors with polite distance, never truly caring if they lived or died. They treated their work as a necessary evil, never pouring their heart into it. They treated their own lives as a waiting room for death, and so, when they die, they find themselves in exactly that waiting room. A gray, endless waiting room where nothing happens. Because they generated no light while they were alive, they have no light to see by when they are dead. This is the cruel truth I spoke of. Being harmless is not a ticket to heaven. Heaven is a place for those who have cultivated a golden soul, a soul that radiates warmth. And warmth comes from friction, from action, from the messy business of truly living and loving. My friend, I ask you now, are you playing it safe? Are you hiding behind the mask of the good person to avoid the risks of vulnerability and kindness? Society may praise you for being a quiet, obedient citizen, but the gods do not look at your police record. They look at the temperature of your heart. Perhaps you are thinking, but life is hard. I am just trying to survive. I don't have the energy to be a saint. I understand. Believe me, I understand the weight of this world. I know how exhausting it is just to make ends meet. But do not mistake spiritual brilliance for grand, heroic deeds. You do not need to be a world leader or a famous philanthropist. The light I speak of is found in the smallest moments. It is the warmth you put into a good morning. It is the sincerity you feel when you say, thank you, to a cashier. It is the silent prayer you offer for a stranger who looks sad. The man in the gray mist. His sin was not that he was evil. His sin was that he let his fire go out. He let the routine of life dampen his spirit until he was nothing more than a walking shadow. And shadows belong in the dark. But you are listening to this. That means your spark is not gone. You are seeking. You are questioning. That very curiosity is a sign of life. Do not let the world convince you that being numb is the same as being good. Wake up from the illusion. Throw away the mask of the harmless person and strive to be a warm person. However, even if we decide to be warm, there are invisible forces that constantly try to cool us down. There are habits of the mind that steal our energy without us noticing. In the next chapter, we will uncover the first and most common of these energy thieves. It is a poison so subtle that you probably drank it this very morning. It is the seed of sin that grows into a mighty tree of darkness. Let us identify it together, so you can root it out forever. Chapter 3: The Seed of Sin, the Ungrateful Heart. My dear friend, are you ready to face the first dragon that lives in your heart? In the previous chapter, we spoke of the good person who falls because their soul has gone cold. Now, we must ask, how does a soul become cold? It does not happen overnight. It happens drop by drop, like a slow leak that eventually sinks a mighty ship. The first and most dangerous leak is the loss of gratitude. I want to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it honestly in your heart. When you opened your eyes this morning, what was your very first thought? Was it, another tired Monday? Was it, I didn't sleep enough? Or was it, thank you for the miracle of another day? Most likely, it was a complaint. Or perhaps, just a numb acceptance. You woke up, you ate breakfast, you saw your family, and you thought, of course I woke up. Of course there is food. Of course they are here. But my friend, listen to me closely. This thought, of course, is the seed of all sin. It is the beginning of the darkness that will eventually blind you. Let me tell you about a soul I encountered during my travels in the spirit world. This soul was not in the deepest pit. but he was wandering in a dense, suffocating fog, unable to find his way home. When he was alive, he was what you would call a victim of circumstances, or so he thought. He had a job, he had a wife, he had health, but if you looked at the record of his thoughts, they were a black river of dissatisfaction. When his parents cared for him, he thought, it is their duty as parents. He felt no debt. When he received his salary, he did not look at the money that would feed his family, he looked at the amount and thought, it's too little for my talent. When he sat down to dinner, he didn't see the labor of the farmers or the love of his wife. He saw the plate and thought, this again? It's too salty. He wasn't shouting these things. He was a quiet man. But inside, he was constantly whispering complaints. He was stealing. Yes, stealing. He was taking the gifts of the universe, time, energy, food, love, and he was stripping them of their value. Ingratitude is a form of spiritual theft. When you take a miracle and label it ordinary or insufficient, you are robbing the moment of its light. Why is this the origin of suffering? Because the moment you stop saying, thank you, you start demanding more. The ungrateful heart is a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much water, how much success, money, or love God pours into it, it drains away instantly. And you are left feeling empty, thinking, why am I not happy? I am a good person. No, you are a leaking person. And in the spirit world, a leaking vessel cannot hold light. It sinks. I saw that man in the fog, and his vessel was cracked from top to bottom. The scary part is, he didn't know why he was suffering. He still believed the universe owed him something. Why am I here? I deserve better, he cried. But the spirit world is a mirror. It only gives you what you are. And he was a complaint. So, he was surrounded by a reality that gave him endless reasons to complain. My friend, look at your life right now. You are breathing. Do you know what a complex, fragile miracle that is? Your heart is beating without you commanding it. The sun rose this morning without you paying a fee. The water you drink, the clothes on your back, these are the result of the labor of thousands of people and the grace of nature. To think, I paid for this, so I deserve it, is the arrogance of the modern age. Money is just paper. It cannot make the sun rise. It cannot make a grain of rice grow. Everything is a gift. Everything. If you have forgotten this, then your soul is already beginning to gather dust. That heavy feeling in your chest? That constant low-level anxiety? That is the weight of unacknowledged gifts. That is the invisible sin pressing down on you. But do not despair, because the cure for this poison is so simple. A child can use it. It does not require money. It does not require a temple. It requires only 3 words, thank you. Not a polite, social, thank you. I mean a soul-shaking, tear-inducing realization that you do not have to be here, but you are. Imagine if tomorrow, everything you didn't say, thank you, for today was taken away. Your eyesight, your legs, your coffee, your mother, would you beg for them back? Then why wait until they are gone to cherish them? The seed of sin is ingratitude, but the seed of salvation is appreciation. By shifting your mind from, what am I missing? To, what have I been given? You patch the hole in your bucket. You stop the leak, and when the leak stops, your soul begins to fill with light. However, even if we fill our hearts with gratitude, there is another force that can shatter our vessel from the outside. It is a force that comes out of our own mouths. It is the power of words. We often think words are just air, but in the next chapter, I will show you that they are actually solid objects, weapons that return to strike the thrower. We will speak of the law of the boomerang. Prepare yourself, for we are about to learn how to wield magic. Chapter 4: The Boomerang of the Soul. Words and Thoughts. My dear friend, we have spoken of the heart that leaks gratitude. Now, we must speak of the weapon that destroys the vessel altogether. Tell me, do you know the ancient Japanese word, Kotodama? It means, the spirit of words. In the modern world, you treat words as if they are nothing more than air, vibrations that vanish the moment they leave your lips. But I tell you, these words are not air. They are solid. They are living things. They have mass, they have temperature, and they have a direction. And the most terrifying law of the spirit world is this: every single word you speak has a homing beacon attached to it. It must, by the laws of physics of the soul, return to its creator. I want to share with you the story of a woman I saw in the middle realms of the spirit world. Let us call her the polite lady. When she was alive, she was the picture of social perfection. She was always smiling. She bowed correctly. She brought gifts to her neighbors. If you met her, you would think, what a lovely person. But in the spirit world, her face was disfigured. Her mouth was swollen, and she was constantly flinching, as if she were being struck by invisible stones. I looked closer to see what was attacking her. They were not stones. They were black, sharp objects shaped like boomerangs. And do you know what was written on them? She is a liar. He is incompetent. I hate her dress. I hope they fail. You see, this polite lady had a secret habit. She loved gossip. She loved to sit in the shadows with her friends and tear other people apart. To her face, she would say, "Oh, congratulations on your promotion." But the moment he turned his back, she would whisper, "He only got it because he kissed the boss's feet." She thought she was safe because no one heard her. But the spirit heard her. The walls heard her. And most importantly, her own soul recorded every syllable. In the spirit world, there is no behind someone's back. Everything is 360 degrees. Everything is frontal. So, every time she threw a poisoned dagger of gossip at someone who wasn't there, that dagger flew out into the universe, circled around, and came back to strike her own spiritual body. Why is gossip so heavy? Why is it a sin? Because it is cowardly. Unlike an argument where you speak your truth to someone's face, gossip carries the dirty energy of deception. It lacks, Makoto, sincerity. It is pure malice wrapped in fear. And in the spirit world, that malice multiplies. If you say, "That person is cold," the universe marks you as cold. If you say, "That person is a failure," the universe writes, "failure," on your forehead. And it is not just words spoken aloud. We must also talk about the silence of the heart, the thought. My friend, be honest with me. When you see a rival succeed, do you feel a pinch in your chest? When you hear that a celebrity or a successful neighbor has fallen into misfortune, do you feel a tiny, secret spark of relief? A little smirk in the dark? Ah, they were not so great after all. We call this Schadenfreude, joy in the misfortune of others. You might think, it's just a thought. I didn't do anything. But remember, in the realm I speak of, thoughts are matter. Jealousy is a fire. When you envy someone, you are literally lighting a fire in your own living room and hoping the smoke chokes your neighbor. It is madness. You are the one burning. I saw a man in the spirit world who was covered in soot, coughing and choking. He spent his life being jealous of his brother's wealth. He didn't steal. He didn't hit. He just stewed. He sat in his chair and hated the fact that someone else was happy. And that hate became the smoke that suffocated him for eternity. There is an old saying, if you curse a man, dig 2 graves. One for him, and one for you. This is not a metaphor. It is the mechanics of the soul. The energy you send out is the energy you must eventually inhabit. My friend, you might be scared now. You might be thinking, I have gossiped. I have been jealous. Is it too late for me? No, it is never too late. Listen to me. The fact that you feel fear or regret right now is proof that your conscience is still alive. You can stop the boomerangs. How? By catching them before you throw them. From today, make a pact with your tongue. If I cannot say it to their face, I will not say it at all. If I cannot praise them, I will remain silent. And when that ugly green monster of jealousy rises in your chest, do not fight it. Just look at it and say, I see you. But I choose to bless them instead. Say it even if you don't mean it yet. I am happy for their success. Fake it until you make it. Because eventually, those words will become your new boomerangs. And imagine if what came back to hit you were flowers instead of stones. Imagine if every blessing you sent out returned to you multiplied. That is how you build a heaven. We have spoken of the sins of the heart and the sins of the mouth. But there is one more, invisible sin, that creates a deep, lonely hole in the soul. It is a sin of disconnection. It is the sin of forgetting where you came from. In the next chapter, we will cross the bridge from suffering to healing. We will speak of those who came before us, your roots. For a tree without roots cannot stand in the storm. Let us talk about your ancestors, and the invisible army waiting to help you. Chapter 5: The Missing Link, Roots and Wings. My dear friend, we have walked through the valley of shadows. We have seen how the ungrateful heart leaks energy, and how the poisonous tongue invites disaster. But you might be wondering, is there no one to help me? Am I fighting this battle all alone? The answer is both yes and no. You are the captain of your soul, yes, but you were never meant to sail this ocean without a compass or without a crew. Today, we must talk about the invisible army that stands behind you, or rather, the army that should be standing behind you, if you haven't locked the door on them. We must talk about your roots, your ancestors. Let me ask you a question that might sound old-fashioned. When was the last time you visited a grave? When was the last time you put your hands together in prayer for those who came before you? In this modern age, we are taught to be individuals. We love the idea of the self-made man. We think, I achieved this success by my own hard work. I don't need the past. The dead are dead, they have nothing to do with me. Many of you treat ancestor worship as a dusty superstition, a meaningless ritual for old people. But I tell you, this arrogance is the most dangerous gamble of your life. To cut off your ancestors is to cut off the very branch you are sitting on. Let me share a story of a man I knew, a man who learned this lesson the hard way. He was a brilliant entrepreneur in his 30s. He built a company from scratch, made a fortune, and had a beautiful family. He was the envy of everyone. But as his success grew, so did his ego. He stopped going to his family's memorial services. He removed the Buddhist altar from his house because it didn't match the modern interior design. He even said to his relatives, "Why should I waste my precious time praying to bones? I believe in science, not ghosts." At first, nothing happened. He continued to prosper. But then, the tide turned, slowly, and then all at once. It started with small accidents. A car crash, a fire in the warehouse. Then, his health began to fail. Strange illnesses that doctors couldn't explain. His family, once harmonious, began to fight constantly. His wife left him. His children turned against him. Within 3 years, he lost everything. He sat in the ruins of his life and screamed at the sky, "Why me? I worked harder than anyone. Why is the universe punishing me?" I looked into the spiritual record of this man, and what I saw was not a punishment from an angry God. It was something far sadder. I saw his guardian spirits, who are, in most cases, your own ancestors, standing at a distance. They were weeping. They were trying to reach him, trying to warn him of the dangers ahead, trying to deflect the bad luck. But they couldn't touch him. Why? Because he had severed the connection. By denying them, by treating them with contempt, he had built a wall of ice between himself and his protectors. You see, my friend, you are not an island. You are the tip of a pyramid. Think of how many people had to survive for you to exist. 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents. Go back just 10 generations, and you have over 1,000 ancestors. They survived wars, famines, plagues, and disasters just to pass the baton of life to you. You are the runner in the final lap, and they are cheering for you from the stands. They want you to win. They need you to win, because your happiness is their vindication. When you pray to your ancestors, you are not worshiping ghosts. You are tuning your radio to their frequency. You are saying, "I acknowledge you. I thank you. Please guide me." This opens the channel. It allows their protective energy to flow into your life. But when you ignore them, or worse, despise them, the signal is lost. The guardian spirits drift away. not because they are angry, but because they have lost their anchor in the physical world. And when your protection is gone, you are left naked in a storm. Evil spirits, bad luck, and negative energies find you easily because there is no one guarding the gate. The man I told you about, his mistake was thinking he was alone. He thought he was the source of his own power. But a tree without roots cannot stand. When the wind blew, he fell, because he had severed his own foundation. My friend, do not make this mistake. It is not a duty to honor your ancestors. It is your lifeline. It is the secret to true strength. Perhaps you are thinking, but I don't have a grave nearby, or I don't know who my ancestors were. It doesn't matter. They know you. You don't need a fancy altar. You don't need to spend money. All you need is a moment of silence. Tonight, before you sleep, just say in your heart, "To all those who gave me life, thank you. I am here because of you." That simple thought is a beacon of light. It pierces through the darkness and reconnects the severed line. And when that line is restored, you will feel a shift. You will feel that you are not walking alone anymore. You will feel a subtle, warm wind pushing you forward. We have spoken of the darkness, the sins, and the roots. Now, the heavy clouds are beginning to part. Can you feel it? The air is changing. We are leaving the realm of suffering and causes. It is time to look up. It is time to see where we are supposed to go. In the next chapter, I will take you to the destination. I will show you the world of light, the true home that awaits a soul that has been polished. It is a place of such beauty that once you see it, you will never want to return to the gray mist again. Are you ready to see the vision of your true freedom? Chapter 6: The Vision of Light, the Freedom of the Soul. My dear friend, take a deep breath with me. Can you feel it? We have finally climbed out of the damp, gray valley. We have left behind the heavy chains of ungratefulness, the sharp daggers of gossip, and the lonely walls of disconnection. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. I want to take you to the place where I stood, the peak of the spiritual mountain. I want to show you the world of light. Words are clumsy tools to describe this place, but I must try. In the lower realms, the light was gray and heavy, like dirty water. But here, the light is alive. It is golden, yet it contains every color imaginable, colors that do not even exist in your physical world. It is not a blinding light that hurts your eyes. It is a soft, permeating brilliance that soaks into your very skin. It feels like love. Yes, that is the only way to describe the physics of this place. The atmosphere itself is made of pure, unconditional love. I saw souls here, too. But they were not crouching in shadows. They were flying. They were not heavy. They were weightless. They moved with a grace and speed that defied understanding. When I approached them, I felt no fear, no judgment, and no coldness. I felt only a wave of warmth, like being hugged by a mother after a long, long journey. They were transparent. You could see right through them. And because they were transparent, they had nothing to hide. There were no secrets here. No lies. No polite faces hiding jealous hearts. Everything was open. Everything was shared. Because they had no dark thoughts to conceal, they were free. This, my friend, is the true meaning of heaven. It is not a place where you sit on a cloud and play a harp for eternity. That would be boring. It is a place of absolute freedom. Here, if you wish to be in a garden of flowers, you are there instantly. If you wish to create music, the universe sings with you. If you wish to understand the mysteries of the cosmos, the knowledge flows into you like water. And do you know what the greatest joy in this world is? It is the joy of reunion. Here, people are reunited with the loved ones they thought they had lost. I saw mothers holding their children again. I saw husbands and wives finding each other across the expanse of time. There were no tears of sadness, only tears of diamond-like joy. Now, open your eyes. Look at me. I am telling you this because this is where you belong. You were not made for the gray mist. You were not created to crouch in the dark and complain about your salary. You were designed for this light. Your soul, beneath the dust of daily life, is made of the same golden material as this world. But, you might say, I am not a saint. I have made mistakes. I have dirty spots on my soul. Of course you do. We all do. But listen closely, the dirt is not you. The dust on a mirror does not change the nature of the glass. It only hides the reflection. If you wipe the dust away, the mirror shines as if it were brand new. It does not matter if the dust has been there for 10 years or 50 years. The moment it is removed, the light returns instantly. This is the truth of cessation. The suffering can end. The heaviness can be lifted. The state of hell is not a life sentence. It is a choice you make every day by holding on to the dirt. And the state of heaven is a choice you make by letting it go. Imagine yourself in that world of light. Imagine your heart being so light that you can fly. Imagine having no secrets, no shame, no guilt. Imagine looking at others and feeling only joy for their existence. How does that feel? Does it feel impossible, or does it feel like home? That longing you feel in your chest right now, that is your homing beacon. That is your soul remembering where it came from. You have the map now. You know what the darkness looks like, the complaints, the jealousy, the disconnection. And now, you know what the destination looks like, the freedom, the transparency, the love. The only question remaining is, how do I get from here to there? How do I wipe the mirror? What are the specific steps I must take, starting tomorrow morning, to walk this path? Do not worry. I will not leave you with just a vision. I will give you the tools. I have 7 keys, 7 practical teachings that act as the cloth to polish your soul. In the next chapters, we will walk the path. These are not difficult monk-like austerities. They are simple, beautiful habits that you can start in your kitchen, in your office, and in your bedroom. Are you ready to learn the method of polishing? Are you ready to claim your citizenship in the world of light? Then, let us begin the practical work. Chapter 7: The First Steps: Appreciation and Joy. My dear friend, welcome back to the ground level. We have seen the mountain peak. We know what the world of light looks like. But a vision without action is just a daydream. Now, we must pick up our tools and start walking. I promised you 7 keys to unlock the gate of heaven. Today, I place the first 2 keys in your hands. They are small keys. They look ordinary, but do not be deceived. These keys have the power to change the very physics of your reality. The first teaching, the art of radical gratitude. We spoke before about the leaking bucket of the ungrateful heart. Now, let us learn how to patch the hole. You might think, I know I should be grateful. But knowing is not enough. You must do. Gratitude is not a feeling that waits to happen. It is a muscle that must be exercised until it becomes stronger than your complaints. Here is your homework for the rest of your life. It starts the moment your consciousness returns from sleep. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you think about your to-do list, before you even get out of bed, I want you to say 3 words. Thank you, God. Or if you prefer, thank you, universe. Thank you for what? Thank you for the breath in your lungs. Thank you for the roof over your head. Thank you for the fact that your story is not over yet. This practice is the morning misogi, purification. It sets the tuning fork of your soul to the frequency of abundance. If you start the day with, I am tired, you attract fatigue. If you start with, thank you, you attract miracles. Next, look at your food. In the spirit world, the energy you put into your food becomes the energy of your body. If you eat while watching the news and worrying about politics, you are eating poison. Stop, look at the meal. Say, Itadakimasu, I humbly receive this life. Visualize the farmers, the drivers, the cooks, the sun, and the rain that conspired to bring this energy to your plate. When you eat with gratitude, the food literally glows in the spirit world. It becomes medicine for your soul. And finally, turn to the people in your house. Your wife, your husband, your parents, your children. We often treat our family like furniture, always there, unnoticed until they break. This is a sin. Today, find one small thing to thank them for. Thank you for making the coffee. Thank you for working hard. Watch their faces change. Watch the atmosphere in your home shift from gray to gold. This is not just manners. It is magic. The second teaching, the practice of sympathetic joy. Now, we come to the harder task. The first key opens your heart to God. The second key opens your heart to mankind. It is the cure for the poison of jealousy. We call this mudita, finding joy in the happiness of others. My friend, I know this is difficult. When you are struggling, and you see someone else succeed, the little demon in your chest whispers, "Why them? Why not me? It's not fair." This demon is natural. It is human. But if you feed it, it grows into a monster that eats your luck. So, how do we starve the demon? We use the reframing technique. When you see your colleague get promoted, instead of feeling bitter, I want you to say this to yourself. This is proof that promotion exists in my universe. Their success is not my failure. It is a sign that success is close to me. And then, you must perform the action. You must congratulate them, even if your voice trembles, even if your smile is stiff. Say, "Congratulations, I am so happy for you." Force the words out if you have to. Why? Because the spirit world does not understand sarcasm. It only hears the vibration. When you bless others, the universe hears, "Ah, this person loves success. Let us send them more of it." But when you curse others or sulk in jealousy, the universe hears, "Ah, this person hates success. Let us keep it away from them." I saw a man in the spirit world who had mastered this. He was a simple man, not rich in life. But whenever he saw a beautiful house, he would say, "What a lovely home. May the family inside be happy." Whenever he saw a luxury car, he would say, "Safe travels. Enjoy your ride." He blessed everything he saw. And in the spirit world, he lives in a palace of light, because every blessing he threw out returned to build his spiritual home. So, my friend, here is your challenge. The next time you scroll through social media and see someone's perfect life, do not scroll past in anger. Stop, press the like button in your heart. Say, "Good for you." Wash your heart with their joy. If you can be happy for others, you have tapped into an infinite source of happiness. Because while your own success might happen only occasionally, the success of others is happening all around you every day. If you can claim their joy as your own, you will never be sad again. These are the first steps. Gratitude and joy. They seem simple, do they not? But try to do them for one whole day without failing. It is the hardest training in the world. But if you persist, the rust on your soul will begin to flake off. You will feel lighter. You will smile for no reason. That is the sign that the keys are turning. But we are not done yet. A clean heart needs a clean mouth and clean hands to express itself. In the next chapter, we will pick up the keys of speech and action. We will learn how to stop the sins of gossip and inaction, and how to become a force for good in a world that is asleep. Let us continue our climb. Chapter 8: The Power of Present Speech and Action. My dear friend, we are making excellent progress. You have learned to fill your heart with gratitude and to wash away jealousy with joy. But a clean heart is of no use if it is locked inside a fortress. The light must shine out. And how does the soul express itself in this physical world? Through two channels: your mouth and your hands. Today, we will master the third and fourth keys: right speech and right action. The third teaching, the discipline of silence and truth. We spoke earlier of the terrifying boomerang of gossip. You know now that poison returns to the poisoner. But how do we stop a habit that is so deeply ingrained in our society? It requires a warrior's discipline. I want to give you a filter, a spiritual sieve, to place over your lips. Before you speak about another person, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer to any of these is no, then you must perform the hardest action known to man. You must remain silent. Silence is not empty. In the spirit world, silence is golden. It is a protective shield. But what if someone comes to you with gossip? What if your friend says, "Did you hear about what she did?" This is a trap. If you nod and say, "Really?" you have just dipped your hands in the same poison. Here is the technique I want you to use. It is called the gentle deflection. When the gossip starts, you say, "I suppose everyone has their own struggles that we cannot see." And then, you change the subject. By doing this, you break the chain of negative karma. You become a circuit breaker for darkness. But simply not speaking evil is only half the battle. You must use your words to heal. Words have the power to save lives. A simple, "You can do it," or "I believe in you," can be the wind that saves a sinking ship. Use your Kotodama, spirit of words to bless, to encourage, and to comfort. Be the person whose voice brings peace to the room. The fourth teaching, the courage to act, overcoming the sin of omission. Now, we must confront the most subtle sin of the good person. This is the sin that drags more souls to the gray mist than any other. It is the sin of inaction, the sin of omission. You might say, "I didn't do anything." And I will reply, "Exactly. You did nothing. That is the problem." Let me share a heavy story from the spirit world. I met a soul who was carrying a massive boulder on his back. He was bent double under its weight. I asked him, "What is that stone?" He looked at me with tear-filled eyes and said, "It is the weight of regret." When he was alive, he was walking home one night and saw a young girl crying on a park bench. It was late. She looked desperate. He thought, "I should ask if she is okay." But then, the voice of fear whispered, "Don't get involved. It might be a scam. It's none of your business." So, he walked past. He quickened his pace and never looked back. He never knew what happened to her. But in the spirit world, that moment was frozen in time. He saw that his few words of kindness could have changed her life. But because he did nothing, he missed his appointment with destiny. The boulder he carried was the ghost of the deed left undone. My friend, listen to this spiritual law. To know what is right and not do it is the same as doing evil. In the spirit world, there are no innocent bystanders. If you are there, you are involved. The universe placed you in that moment for a reason. You were meant to be the hands of God. When you turn away, you are saying no to God. But you argue, "I am just one person. I can't save the world." Stop that arrogance. No one asked you to save the world. You are only asked to serve the person standing in front of you. The fourth key is the practice of small courage. It does not require you to jump into a burning building. It asks you to do the small, uncomfortable things. When you see someone struggling with heavy bags, do not just watch. Ask, "Can I help you?" When you see a piece of trash on the street, do not step over it. Pick it up. When a new employee is eating alone, sit with them. When you feel the urge to call your parents, pick up the phone now. These actions seem tiny, but in the spirit world, they are explosions of light. Each time you overcome your apathy and choose to act, you are polishing your soul. You are proving to the universe, "I am a player, not a spectator." Imagine if everyone lived like this. Imagine if everyone stopped just 1 inch short of indifference. The world would change overnight. And it starts with you. Today, I challenge you. Do one thing you would normally ignore. Speak to the person you usually walk past. Help the stranger you usually avoid. It will feel scary for a second. Your heart might beat fast. But afterwards, you will feel a rush of warmth in your chest. That is the feeling of your soul expanding. That is the feeling of weight being lifted. We have cleaned our hearts with gratitude. We have guarded our mouths with truth. We have moved our hands with courage. But there is still a heavy anchor that keeps many of us from flying. It is the anchor of the past and the anchor of possession. In the next chapter, we will learn how to cut the chains that bind us to the earth. We will speak of ancestors and non-attachment. We will learn how to honor where we came from, while freely flying toward where we are going. Let us continue to break the chains. Chapter 9: Breaking the Chains, Ancestors and Letting Go. My dear friend, look at you. You are becoming lighter. You have learned to say, "Thank you." You have learned to bless your enemies. You have learned to act with courage. But as we prepare for the final ascent, I must ask you to check your pockets. Are you carrying any heavy stones that you refuse to put down? We are about to discuss the fifth and sixth keys. These are the keys of connection and liberation. The fifth teaching the ritual of roots honoring ancestors. In a previous chapter, I warned you about the danger of cutting off your roots. You know now that a tree without roots falls in the storm. But how, exactly, do we water these roots in our modern, busy lives? You do not need to be a monk. You do not need to chant for hours. The fifth key is the practice of daily acknowledgement. Here is the truth: your ancestors do not want your money. They do not want grand feasts. They want your memory. They want to know that they have not been forgotten. So, I want you to create a hotline to the spirit world. Here is the method. If you have a Buddhist altar or a family shrine, that is wonderful. But if you do not, simply find a quiet corner in your house. Place a photo of your parents or grandparents there. Or, just imagine their faces in your mind. Every day, for just 10 seconds, put your hands together. And say this: "Good morning. Thank you for watching over me. I will do my best today." That is it. Why is this so powerful? Because in the spirit world, attention is energy. When you direct your attention to your ancestors, you are literally sending them light. And in return, they reflect that light back to you as protection. It is a loop of love. But if you break this loop, if you think dead people don't matter, you are unplugging yourself from the power grid of your lineage. Do not be an orphan of the universe. Connect the cable. Talk to them. Tell them your troubles. You will be surprised how often the answers to your problems will pop into your head right after you ask them for help. The sixth teaching: the art of letting go, releasing attachment. Now, we must face the heaviest chain of all. This is the chain that keeps more souls bound to the earth than any other sin. It is the sin of attachment and desire. My friend, what are you holding on to so tightly that your knuckles are turning white? Is it money? Is it a house? Is it a title? Or is it a person? Attachment is the belief that I cannot live without this. But I must tell you a harsh truth: you will lose everything. One day, you will lose your job. You will lose your house. You will lose your body. And if you have spent your life gripping these things, the moment of death will be a moment of absolute terror. Let me tell you a tragic story I witnessed in the spirit world. A man arrived there who had been a success on earth. He was a tycoon. He owned land, mansions, and gold bars. But when I saw him, he was not in the world of light. He was wandering around a ruined version of his old estate. He was shouting, "Where is my safe? Who took my keys? Get off my land." He was frantic. He was miserable. He didn't realize that he was dead. He was so obsessed with his possessions that his soul was glued to the physical location of his wealth. But in the spirit world, his money didn't exist. His safe was gone. So he was grasping at smoke, forever hungry, forever unsatisfied. This is the realm of the hungry ghosts. It is the hell of wanting, but never having. Do not become this man. You must learn the difference between love and attachment. Love says, "I appreciate this flower. It is beautiful." Attachment says, "I must pick this flower and keep it forever, even if it dies." Love liberates. Attachment suffocates. So, how do we practice the sixth key? We practice dying before we die. I want you to look at your possessions today. Look at your car. Look at your bank account. Look at your favorite clothes. And say to them, "Thank you for serving me. But you are not me. If I lost you tomorrow, I would still be whole." Practice giving things away. If you are attached to money, give some of it to charity. Break the grip of greed by forcing your hand to open. If you are attached to old clothes, donate them. Physical decluttering is spiritual decluttering. Every time you let go of an object, you are cutting a string that ties you to the ground. And what about people? If you are clinging to a child, a partner, or a lover, suffocating them with your fear of loss, stop. Open your hand. Love them enough to let them breathe. Say to yourself, "Our souls are connected, but I do not own them." When you release your grip, you will feel a sudden lightness. That is the feeling of freedom. And only free souls can fly to the high peaks of the spirit world. My friend, we are almost there. We have connected to our roots ancestors to give us stability. We have cut the chains of attachment desire to give us wings. Now, there is only one step left. It is the daily maintenance of this new state. How do we keep the mirror clean when the world is so full of dust? In the final chapter, I will give you the 7th key. It is the ultimate habit. It is the ritual of misogi and harai. It is the secret to staying in the light, no matter how dark the world becomes. Are you ready for the final instruction? Chapter 10: The Daily Ritual Washing the Soul. My dear friend, we have arrived at the final gate. You have traveled far with me. Together, we have stared into the abyss of the invisible sins. We have learned to plant the seeds of gratitude, to wield the magic of words, to honor our roots, and to cut the chains of attachment. You are now standing tall, equipped with 6 powerful keys. But there is one last secret I must impart to you. It is the secret of maintenance. Imagine you have just cleaned your house until it sparkles. It is beautiful. It is perfect. But what happens if you do nothing for a week? Dust settles. Spiders spin their webs. Mud gets tracked in from the outside. The same is true for your soul. No matter how enlightened you become, living in this physical world means you will get dirty. Someone will be rude to you, and you will feel a flash of anger. You will get tired, and you will forget to say thank you. You will see a luxury car, and for a split second, you will feel envy. This is not a failure. This is simply the side effect of being human. The problem is not the dirt. The problem is letting it stay there. So, the 7th key, the final and most important key, is the practice of daily purification. In the ancient traditions of Japan, we call this misogi and harai. Misogi means to wash away the impurities with water. Harai means to sweep away the dust. Most of you shower every day to clean your body, do you not? You would not go to bed covered in mud. Yet, how many of you go to sleep with a heart covered in the mud of the day's stress and negativity? Tonight, I will teach you how to take a soul shower. This is a ritual you must perform every single night, just before you close your eyes. It takes only 3 minutes, but it will determine the destination of your soul. Step 1: The reflection facing the mirror. Find a quiet moment, close your eyes, and play back the movie of your day. Do not judge it, just watch it. Ask yourself, did I hurt anyone today? Did I speak a lie? Did I ignore someone in need? Did my heart get cloudy? Be honest. The spirit world already knows the truth, so there is no point in hiding. If you find a black spot, a moment where you were less than kind, catch it. Do not make excuses. Do not say, but he started it. Just look at the spot and say, yes, that is dirt. Step 2: The apology, the misogi. Now, wash it away. In your mind, bow deeply to the person you hurt, or to the universe itself. And say the magic words. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I was weak today. I let my ego take over. Feel the regret. Let it wash over you like cool water. This act of admitting your fault is the soap that cleans the soul. The moment you sincerely apologize, the black mark on your spiritual record is erased. It is gone. You are clean again. Step 3: The vow, the harai. Now that you are clean, you must set your intention for tomorrow. This is the sweeping. Say to yourself, tomorrow, I will not make this mistake. Tomorrow, I will be kinder. Tomorrow, I will start with gratitude. This vow acts as a shield. It protects your newly cleaned heart from gathering the same dust again. My friend, I want you to try this tonight. The first time you do it, you might feel resistance. Your ego hates to apologize. But push through it, because after you say those words, I am sorry, I will do better, you will feel something miraculous. You will feel light. A physical weight will lift from your chest. You will sleep deeper than you have in years. And when you wake up, you will be fresh. You will be new. You will not be dragging the baggage of yesterday into today. Let me tell you a secret about the world of light I showed you earlier. The souls there are not perfect. They are not beings who never make mistakes. They are beings who clean themselves constantly. They are quick to notice their dirt, quick to apologize, and quick to return to love. That is the only difference between a saint and a sinner. A saint is just a sinner who keeps washing his clothes. So, do not aim for perfection. Perfection is a trap. Aim for purity. If you fall, get up and wash. If you forget, remember and wash. If you get angry, apologize and wash. Do this every day, and your soul will never lose its shine. Eventually, the dirt will stop sticking to you. Eventually, you will become like a lotus flower that blooms in the mud but remains spotless. My dear friend, I have given you everything I know. I have handed you the map, the compass, and the keys. The path to the high mountains is open before you. It is not a path for the chosen few. It is a path for you. You, with your busy job. You, with your family struggles. You, with your doubts and fears. You are the one who can walk this path. In fact, you are the only one who can save your own soul. No God can wash you if you refuse to enter the water. Are you ready to live differently? Are you ready to step out of the gray mist and into the golden light? The choice is made in this very moment. And I believe, no, I know, that you will make the right choice. Because you have listened this far. That means your soul is already awake. Now, let us bring this long journey to a close. Let us gather all these teachings into one final bundle, so you can carry them with you forever. I will meet you one last time in the summary. Summary: your soul is polished, not condemned. Thank you for lending me your ears and listening to my words today. Let us etch these 7 teachings deeply into our hearts one last time. First, gratitude. Second, joy for others. Happiness. Third, sacred speech. Fourth, the courage to act. Fifth, the ancestral bond. Sixth, non-attachment. And seventh, daily purification. These are the keys to avoiding the invisible sins that trap so many. The reason good people fall into darkness is simply because they do not realize they are carrying these invisible burdens. But today, you have awakened to the truth. Knowing is the first step to changing. It is never too late to start. Even a soul covered in the dust of decades can shine again the moment you decide to polish it. Do not think, it is impossible for me. Your soul has infinite potential waiting to be unleashed. Start today. Forgive yourself, cleanse your heart, and live with love. If you practice these simple truths, I guarantee that a high and radiant place awaits you in the next life, and true happiness will find you in this one. Now, go forth and let your soul shine. Thank you for watching. Thank you.